was the one that actually brought us again to another beginning in God. To let us understand that in the very beginning of God, for us to truly understand God, as good as the revelation that was revealed to Moses upon the mountain, it was sufficient enough to be able to help the Israelites come close to God. And all through time, Christianity suffered hatred because it was almost impossible for them to truly understand the mystery named God. And John was able to demystify the mystery to bring us to understanding that if you can relate with God as life, relate to God as love, you understand that God is some himself in the nature of life that can only find expression of their love and their life. Is that okay? But he was the only also one that made us to have a perfect understanding to what is a witness. It was him that further led to bring us an understanding to the witnesses that there be upon the face of the earth. And how that when you look upon the face of the earth, there are witnesses that made men to become men. And there were witnesses that made God to become God. And there was a witness that made Jesus to become he was. And there was a witness that made any man to become a living witness upon the face of the earth. And the mystery wherewith that was achieved was because there was a reality known as the three witnesses. And what he means by the three witnesses that are sufficient entities enough, sufficient a faculty of knowledge, that embedded in them mysteries enough to help you survive. My friend Kato spoke about secret. The secret of a thing was never supposed to be known to anybody because that is the regulating factor of the day. You are not a secret society. The day you begin the secret, you actually can't remember because you are not supposed to be the secret. The model where which you operate is the secret. And that was what John came and demystified to us. One thing about secret is this. The day you know a secret, you become part of the secret. So if you want to join a society, they reveal the secret so that it can become part of the society. I get what I'm saying now. So, what John tries to let us understand by bringing us an understanding to the mystery of the three witnesses is this. That one of the principles wherewith God was able to translate himself from the realm of immortality into mortality was application of these witnesses. That for him to have the representation upon the face of the earth effectively, where he cannot just took anyone just like that. Anyone can be engineered, but I said this entity is envisioned within him, encapsulated within him as a secret embodiment. That compartment and component can be deficient enough not to become God. God worked with diverse people in time past. All of them contain diverse level of secret and deposit of God. But not all of them came under the alignment of the diversity of the witnesses of heaven and the witnesses of earth. It came to a point where he has to be able to ensure that if he can engineer a man to be sufficient enough, a living witness, he must come under that auspice. And he was only able to do that with one entity, which was actually Jesus. I get what I'm saying now. Hope you are following me. I hope I'm slow. Okay. Actually, the witnesses are actually six. They are not three. Just that in their categorization, there are ones that are called the witness of men. There are ones that are called the witness of heaven. The witness of men are that give men advantage. The witness of heaven is that gives God advantage. What makes immortality? Immortality is because they are aligned to the witness of the heaven. What makes mortality because they are aligned to the witness of the earth. The reason why you are the way you are is because everything about you is encapsulated upon the entity of the witness of man. The reason why you now can advance the realm of immortality is because you begin to align to the witness of heaven. But it's possible for a man to become like Jesus, full of God and full of man, so that you cannot be able to bring others into that same realm of reality. It is impossible for God to be able to bring others to become like him if he doesn't become like man first. So he has to be able to ensure that in him has the capacity to be full man, and in him has the capacity to be full God. And the only way that God can become full God and full man was by aligning himself with the witness of the heavens and the witness of the earth. And it is by that you can be given access door to also become like that. To become like him upon the face of the earth as he is here. Because the entirety of the intention of God as he wants to make man upon the face of the earth to look like him upon the face of the heaven, it will be impossible, totally impossible, if he does not bring upon himself the witness of the earth. It is true that before the intention of the creation of mankind, there was no need for the witness of the earth. Because God does not need the things of mortality. No, he dwelt in a realm that himself is all super spiritual. But for him to be able to ensure that he comes to a point upon the nature of the fallen Adam, to engineer Adam, he has to be able to create a system align to the greatest definition that makes man to become who he is. Then bring that to create another superimposition of the weakness of the heavens upon that of the earth. Then bring him to be able to function like him upon the face of the earth. So the formation of what you are going to understand in the mystery, as upon that one tells you to know, that is not really a mystery. The only mystery there was just that God intended to create mankind after his own order. And it's impossible for him to just do that except he be able to align with the things that made man who he is. Then the things that made God who he is, then sum it up in an entity together, so that entity can be engineered enough to function like God and function like man. Is that okay?